Welcome to Master Your Pop. This is a brand new series, and I'm going to be sharing all of my applications that I use to run my business. Today, we're going to review Artful Agenda. So, this is part one. We're going to go over the month, week, day layouts. I'm also going to share with you my criteria check. Hello everyone, welcome to the Master Your Pop series. This month we're going to be exploring Artful Agenda. This is one of my favorite applications because it really helps me have almost kind of like I'm using a paper planner, but I'm also being able to take that with me in a digital form. I used to be a huge fan of paper planners, and I would dedicate and commit to one each year, and I didn't have a problem utilizing it at all, which was really, really awesome. But what I did find was eventually I did need to have something a bit more digital. So I found Artful Agenda a few years back, and there are a couple things I want to go over before we dive into this introduction. So, Master Your Pop is your professional online presence. And there are a few pieces of criteria that I want to review with you before going forward. So, as I moved along in my entrepreneur journey, I found myself very attracted to technology and utilizing applications to help me with my work, help me with productivity. But what I was finding is I was getting a little too obnoxious with the applications that I was using, and I didn't utilize all the features that they offered. Sometimes I only needed a few of those features and they were really, really cool, but sometimes that price point was a little too high. Also, sometimes that learning curve would be a little bit too high as well. So I developed an app criteria that I set for myself. So every single time an app caught my eye, I was able to use this criteria to help me figure out, okay, yes, I definitely want to figure out how to use this app. This is definitely a tool that I want for my business, or no, this is probably not a good use of my time. So let's look over the business app criteria. So first, price. Price means how much is this application going to be? Is it going to be a monthly cost for you? Are you going to be able to pay it annually? Most of the time, those annual rates, you're going to be saving a lot more money if you can do that. Sometimes it doesn't always work for everybody, depending on that monthly rate. So that's price. Another thing is time. So the next one is, how much time is this going to take for you to learn the application, right? That learning curve, along with, if you think into the future of your business, are you going to use a virtual assistant in the future? I definitely plan on using it. I've had a VA in the past, and I can't wait until I can hire another VA. But thinking of that future VA, are you going to be able to teach that VA how to use that application? That's another thing that I think of when it comes to time. The next area is the mobile app. If you're like me, you are running your business away from your workspace. So I have to have the features that are the most important. It depends on what those are. I really need those accessible on a mobile application. So this is obviously a criteria for myself. If that's not something that is important to you, obviously that's not going to apply. But for me, I have to be able to use and fix things, or check a setting or anything like that, edit a post, has to be on my mobile device, has to be accessible there. All right, last but not least, customer service. So why is customer service a part of the criteria? Because depending on how comfortable you are with technology is going to determine what level of customer service or support you are going to need. So this kind of depends on which tier you're going to be paying for. But a lot of time, those lower tiers are going to have access to email support. The next tier typically has live chat support. And then if you are a really large business or enterprise, they typically get somebody, a dedicated support person for that company. Typically, I don't usually run on that end of the spectrum, but it just depends on where you land on that technology scale, on that comfort scale. But a lot of these awesome applications and features that they offer, they have a lot of tutorials and a lot of videos for you to use. So you can really learn and cut that learning curve in half. Alrighty. So from here, I want to dive into getting you familiar with what Artful Agenda looks like. Alrighty. So this is Artful Agenda. This is basically a paper planner digitized. So you can see here, I'm going to flip over to month. Let's go over this little layout here. On the left side, you can see 2 tabs. I love that feature. I loved tabbed planners. So it's really awesome that they implemented that into the visual effects of that. So lists and then stickers. We're going to be reviewing those on part 2. And then on the right side, we have month, week, and day. So here we're on the monthly view. Nice, awesome, big spread. Your calendar might not be this busy. I did try to close out a couple of the calendars, so it wasn't going to be so crazy, and that would be nice visual. Behind the calendar, all the tabs, you can see that awesome plaid cover. That is the cover that you can change. So I will be sharing that a little bit. Over to the left, you can see what month you're on. You can see which day. They have the little, we're on January 4th, so 4th is circled there. And then every single month and every single week and every single day, they have little quotes for you. So for this month, it says, "The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too." So every single month they have that. So also you can see that there are monthly goals that you can have in this layout spread. And you can also click over to the week. And this is how I usually view my calendar, is usually the week spread. I'm a weekly gal. I know there's a lot of folks who like the daily spread, but the cool thing about Artful Agenda is you get all 3. So you can use whichever one you want, whatever one you need at the moment. So here's the weekly spread, very much the same thing. You've got your month over here on that left-hand side. You've got another quote. So you got your weekly quote, and then you have weekly goals. So I love this because I have goals or things that I want to do every single month, just a few things. And then the weekly goals, I have those kind of on repeat. And then you'll see we have daily goals as well. All right. So here you can see underneath the calendar area how this kind of moves up and down. I'm just moving that up and down with my finger. And then underneath there, you see the daily routine. So I will show you when we get to the day tab what you can do with the daily routine. And then underneath there, you can also keep track of your meals. So every single week, you can plan out your meals and you can have them straight across there. So that's another reason why I really like this weekly layout, is because you can really see everything that's going on within your week at a bird's eye view. All right, so the day. This is what the day layout looks like. I'll just pull this down just a little bit so you can see the top of the calendar here. So you can see it's really nice. Tuesday, January 4th, right here. You can see that big today button. You can have an add event button. And then here is where you can get really customized with your day. So for me, I wanted to keep track of things that I wanted to do every single day. But you can also edit this. So what you you see that little pencil icon. I'm going to click on that pencil icon, and you can edit what that daily routine is going to be, that section is going to be. So if it's instead maybe just your morning routine, just what you're going to do in your AM, or maybe just your evening routine, or maybe it's just your three main tasks that you want to get done during the day. You can make that box whatever you want. And I've been with Artful Agenda since probably the very beginning. I found them very early on, and they have really paid attention and listened to what we have asked as their customers. And this editing or making this customizable here is a huge thing. You can do it down here. I put personal, house, and chores. You can make that whatever you would like. So I wanted a little space where I could keep track of the house chores. Up here, you can see, here, let me just take the keyboard away. There we are. So upper right now, you can see there's a whole nother quote. So they really push all of those quotes. The meal that we would have on Tuesday would show up right here. So you only have to populate it one time, and then it populates everywhere in Artful Agenda. Here you can also keep track of your water intake. And then there's an additional spot here for you. And I've made this a daily reflections. So at the end of the day, coming back and saying, hey, I was feeling really good about my productivity today, or actually I got super distracted on Instagram or Twitter or something. You can just kind of keep track of those items and those things. Okay. So that is a little intro into Artful Agenda, and I wanted to go back and review the business criteria. So for the price, Artful Agenda is $35 for the entire year. So that's a little bit under $3 per month. And I have really loved this planner. It's really, really awesome. And you can also, when you add in your to-dos, here, let me open up this. So open up yoga space. You can set the time or the date. And then you can also make it repeat. And this is what is really awesome. So you can make certain tasks repeat, or you can make them not repeat. So I have most of my routine on repeat. So when I flip through every single day, it's the same. Pretty cool. And we'll click back to today. So if I wanted to make a new one, right? So I'm going to make a new task. Okay. And I wanted to edit this. I'm going to make this repeat. So you can have it repeat daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. I'm going to have this do every week. So then you can have it the first week of the month, second week of the month, third week of the month, fourth week of the month. And then you can tell it what days of the week that you want it to. You can see if you want it to never end with that repetitive schedule, after a certain date, or on a certain date. So I'll just delete that. Awesome. All right. So for here, I wanted to share with you that I have an awesome referral code for you if you're interested in using the Artful Agenda application. I would love to help you get set up and get nice and comfortable utilizing it. I do want to show you one more thing, what you can do up here in the settings. So you can't see it. There we go. Let me pull it down. You might not be able to see this part, but so sorry. But at the very, very top above the planner, there are a couple settings. So there are the calendar settings that you can see here. So you can manage your calendars here. It's a very, very easy setup. It connects to your Google Calendar or iCloud or Microsoft, if you can see that, Microsoft. So it connects with all of those types of calendars. which is awesome. And if you're a fan of the calendar starting on Monday, you can always make the week start on Monday. There's that little option there. And then you can also have the international date format. And then account settings. So this is where you can go in and you can change your account settings with the app, any billing issues. Another thing I have to say, remember, if you think about back to our business app criteria, we went over the price. It's $35, less than $3 a month. So that's $35 for the year. The time, it takes 2 seconds to connect your calendar and then you're up and running. A little bit of learning how to navigate around, but if you liked what you were seeing on this demo, I'm sure you will find it very simple and the learning curve very, very, very short. It has an awesome mobile app. So we can also take a look at the mobile app. So let me see here. There we go. All right. So I want to take just a quick moment to show you this mobile application. So this is what it looks like on the mobile. And this is, again, it's my main criteria. If it's my main question to anybody who I want to work with, any application that I'm communicating with their support team, I want to know, how does it work on your mobile phone? Do I have to use it in the browser, or do you have a dedicated application? And hopefully they have a dedicated application. So here is the mobile app. You can see it's very, very similar to the layout I was showing you on the desktop version. Up at the top, you can see month, week, day, and list tabs. So let's go to the month. This is what the month looks like. It's a little messy. That's my calendar though. And then you can see your monthly goals. And then for the week, here is that week layout. This is typically, again, how I always view my calendar. And then if you scroll down, you can see your weekly goals, and then you can see all the meals that you've planned. It really helps you, especially if you are going to the grocery store. Boom, you can see all of your meal plans there. And when we get into lists, you can make your grocery list in there. So that's a sneak peek into what we're going to be exploring more. Here's the day view. And then there's the daily routine, personal house chores, but again, you can customize those areas. And then my daily reflections. Again, you can customize that. The meal for January 4th, and then my water intake. Isn't that cool? Just click it and you can keep track of it. Perfect. And then here, that little hamburger menu in the upper right, when you click on that, that's your calendar settings, theme settings. And again, another thing we talked about with the app criteria was that customer support. And I have to say that the folks at Artful Agenda are super duper quick and they get on it, and they have improved this application. They've listened to their customers and they've made those little tiny adjustments and shifts in their application to really make this an incredible application. I highly recommend it. So take a look at the application. Make sure if you do sign up that you use the referral code. It's capital RV45812. And let me know if you use it, or if you have any issues or any trouble getting signed up for Artful Agenda, please let me know. I'm happy to help you. All right. All right, so that is going to conclude our Master Your Pop, aka your professional online presence workshop. I'm going to be doing this again next Tuesday. We're going to have part 2 of Artful Agenda, exploring, going a little bit deeper into the application. So make sure you jot down that referral code. And again, I am Vanessa Reagans, and I'm the founder of the Master Your Pop workshops. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next live. Take care, everyone.